Welcome to BISP. Our today's topic under FCCS is deferred consideration. We will quickly know about deferred consideration, a little knowledge about deferred consideration, what it means and how it affect the consolidation. A holding company or purchaser may purchase subsidiary in following manners also in addition to cash oblique bank payment. They are deferred cash consideration, contingent consideration, share for share action. So we will learn about deferred cash consideration, what it means. Deferred consideration means the holding company out of the agreed purchase price may pay a portion of it after a period of time. That is, this portion of purchase price is payable by the holding in future is known as deferred consideration. That is, in other words, we can say we are delaying a payment. We are delaying a payment for some future period. For example, if the investment is 2 lakh and as per agreed term 1 lakh 50,000 will be paid at the time of acquisition and balance of 50,000 will be paid after 1 year. This 50,000 is our deferred consideration. In deferred consideration, we have to take into account the present value of deferred consideration for calculation purpose while consolidating our financial. So we will see this learning through an Excel example. The figures are available with us of the purchaser and a subsidiary. And the additional information given to us is they are shares purchased by Micro Limited is 80% in Mini Limited is 80% in Mini Limited. That is, they have not acquired 100% shares in subsidiary. So we have to calculate the non-controlling interest also for the purpose of consolidation. In addition to cash consideration, deferred consideration of 22,000 will be paid after 1 year. And the annuity rate of interest is 10%, which will be used to calculate our present value. So simply we will first add the assets and liabilities of purchaser and subsidiaries. Equipments for investment we will ignore, and this does not appear in our consolidation. For goodwill we need to do working. For share capital, only the share capital of purchaser will appear here. Retained earning, working will arrive through working. Similarly, non-controlling interest and deferred consideration, working have to be done. And similarly for trade payables, we have to simply add these two figures. So for the purpose of calculation of goodwill, we have to first calculate the present value of deferred consideration. So the deferred consideration here is 22,000 and the rate of interest or annuity rate of interest is 10%. So to calculate its present value, we have divided 22,000 by 110 and that is 100 plus 10%, 110 into 100. So the its present value will be 20,000 and the difference of this amount that is 2,000 is chargeable to P&L. That is, it will be deducted from retained earning. So calculation of goodwill, 2 lakh is our investment price, that is the purchase price or you can say investment. 24,000 is non-controlling value of shares, that is the value of shares owned by others, that is other than group or we can say subsidiary. So it is 20%. So 20% of 1,20,000 comes to 24,000. And the deferred consideration, the present value, we are not considering here the total amount but the present value, which is 20,000. Out of it, the total share value of subsidiary will is deducted. So it comes to 1,24,000, which will be our goodwill. So we will be adding this to our asset side. For retained earning, of purchaser, the full amount will come here, and from subsidiary side, our share in retained earning, that is 80%. because we have acquired only 80%. So 80% will come here. So the 80% of 70,000 is 56,000 from this amount. And as a this is the case of deferred consideration. So the amount of 2,000 will be deducted from here. It comes to 1,54,000. So this will be our retained earning under liability side. Similarly, for non-controlling interest means the shares belongs to other shareholders, that is other than subsidiary or group shares. So the total share value is 1,20,000. So 20% of it is 24,000. So it will be the non-controlling value of shares. Similarly, for retained earning, out of 70,000, 20% will come here. It comes to 14,000, and the total is 38,000. So the non-controlling will be amount is 38,000. And deferred consideration here, the total amount which we have agreed to pay after a period of 1 year will come here and not the present value. By doing this, we are creating liability for us that we have to pay this amount after a period of 1 year. So this makes our balance sheet total 7,14,000. 7,14,000. Hope you find this session useful. Thank you.